Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Viewers, you are welcome to my YouTube channel, Finance Specialist. Viewers, in this video, I will talk about one of the very important concepts of finance called cost of capital. Viewers, before proceeding on this topic, there are few important points which we need to understand first. The first one is about sources of capital. As we all know that before starting any business, we need capital. We have two main sources of capital. The first is debt and the other is equity. The mix of debt and equity capital, it is called as the capital structure. Whenever we try to alter this mix, let's say if we increase the level of equity and decrease the level of debt, our capital structure, it will change. Whenever we increase the debt portion and decrease the equity portion, again this will lead to change in the capital structure. When it comes to sources of capital, the two main sources, that is debt and equity, and within equity we have two types. The first is called as preferred stock equity and the second is called as common stock equity. So initially we check that what is the overall weightage of these three capital providers in the overall capital structure. On the basis of the weightages in the overall capital and on the basis of their required rate of return, we calculate the weighted average cost of capital. The cost of each type of funding is normally multiplied with the associated weightage of that particular source of funding. So this will give us the overall weighted average cost of capital. The meaning of weighted average cost of capital, it is the bare minimum rate of return which an organization must earn if it wants to stay in the business. Or in other words, we can say that weighted average cost of capital is the rate of return that no organization can afford to earn less than that. If a corporation is not able to achieve its weighted average cost of capital, so it will not be able to satisfy the capital providers, such as debt providers or equity providers. Another point to note is when organization is having more debt, it means it is having more leverage, and more leverage leads to organizations chances to file for bankruptcy, because in case of economic recession the organization might not be able to pay to the banks, and which will lead to the bankruptcy. So in this situation, those who are equity providers, they ask for more return or more compensation to compensate them for the excessive risk which they are taking by providing equity capital to the organization. So let's understand about weighted average cost of capital. When we talk about weighted cost of capital model, so first we need to compute the cost of each source of capital. We need to determine the percentage of each source of capital in the optimal capital structure. As I said in my previous slide, that we need to calculate the weightage of individual capital provider. How do we need to calculate? We can calculate the individual capital and then divided by the sum total, so this will give us the weightage. After calculating the weightage, we need to multiply the weightage with the required rate of return of individual capital provider in order to calculate weighted average cost of capital. So let's have a look how to compute cost of debt. Required rate of return for creditors such as banks, when they lend money to the organization, so they want a specific rate of interest, or in other case, if the funds are raised through issuance of bonds, so the minimum yield required by the creditors, or which is also called as yield to maturity and denoted by KD. So same cost is also called as yield to maturity on bonds. For example, suppose that a company issues bonds with a before tax cost of 10%. So this will be the yield to maturity or required rate of return by the debt providers. Since interest payments are tax deductible, the true cost of the debt is the after tax cost. The interest cost is tax deductible, so therefore we can calculate the effective cost of borrowing by multiplying the cost of debt multiplied by 1 minus tax rate. So this will give us the effective cost of borrowing, which comes less than the actual cost. If the company's tax rate, state and federal combined, let's say it is 40%, the after tax cost of debt will be, as you can see, that we just need to multiply the cost of debt into 1 minus the given tax rate. So this will come as 6%. So after tax cost of debt is always less than the apparent cost. Why it is less? Because when company has to pay debt, so the interest cost, it will be subtracted as an expense before tax calculation, and this scenario it is called as tax shield. The next is to compute cost of preferred stock. Cost to raise $1 of preferred stock, as you can see that it is denoted by KP, and how it is calculated? It is calculated by dividing dividend on preferred stock by the market price. Let's understand this with the help of example. You can issue the preferred stock for a net price of $42 and the preferred stock pays a $5 dividend. So simply we can divide $5 by $42, which is the market price, and this will give us the cost of preferred stock 11.9. When it comes to the required rate of return of common stockholders, so it varies with the level of composition of debt capital. So common stock capital providers, they may ask for the higher returns in case if company is relying more on the debt capital. Weighted average cost of capital, if we use retained earnings or new equity to finance the common stock portion of the capital structure, so the formula would be look like this. Weighted average cost of capital is equals to KA is basically the overall cost of capital, and as you can see, weighted average of debt, let's say out of $1,000, if the debt weightage is, let's say, 500, so the weight 500 divided by 1000 will give us 50%, and this weightage we need to multiply by the after tax cost of debt, and then we need to add the weighted average of preferred stock. The same way, let's say we have $300 worth of preferred stock out of 1000, so the weightage of preferred stock will be 30%. and that we need to multiply its cost. And similarly, we need to multiply the weighted average or the weightage of common equity with that of cost of equity. And then these individual weightages multiplied by their individual required rate of returns for each source, we need to add them together to get the weighted average cost of capital. Let's assume that a firm's desired capital structure is 40% debt, 10% preferred, and 50% common equity. Their required rate of returns I have not mentioned here, but they are mentioned in the formula calculations. You can see here 40% is the weightage of debt multiplied by 10% uh, is the cost of debt. This is the assumption, and then within bracket 1 minus 0.4. 0.4 is basically the tax rate. This will give us after tax cost of debt. Then plus 10% is the preferred stock weightage, and their cost 11.9 as I've shown you before in the calculations, and then plus 50% common equity, which is 0.5, it is the weightage, and then it is multiplied by their required rate of return. Let's say it is 15%. So when we solve this equation fully, so we will get 11.9%. So this 11.09% is the weighted average cost of capital, meaning the company has to earn this much in order to pay 10% to the debt holders, 11.9% to preferred stockholders, and 15% to common stockholders. If company is able to earn more than this, so it is good for the company, but the earning should not go below this percentage. Let's understand this scenario with the help of an example. You can see here that we have a debt of 200,000, we have preferred stock 100,000, and we have equity 300,000. The tax rate is 30% and cost of debt is 8%. So let's understand this with the help of Excel example. The same example, as you can see over here, that first I have listed all the amounts in this column, like you can see debt and preferred stock, also common stock, and the total, which comes 600,000. So 200, 100, 300, the total will be 600,000. Then I have calculated the weightages, meaning this 200,000 is what percent of 600,000, and as you can see here in the formula, I have divided this cell 200,000 by 600,000 to get this weightage. I have done this the same treatment to the preferred stock amount. Preferred stock amount is 100,000 divided by 600,000, we will get 0.167, and then similarly the common stock, which is 300,000 divided by 600,000, so we will get the weightage 50% or 0.50. Now the required rate of return, as you can see here, that cost of debt is 8%, cost of preferred stock is 10%, and cost of equity is 12%. As you can see that the cost of debt here I have mentioned it is 0.056 instead of 8%. So how did I calculate this? You can see over here that 8% is the cost of debt into 1 minus, and 30% is the tax rate, because instead of keeping the apparent cost of debt, I will put the after tax cost of debt, because whenever company is having debt, it will give some advantage to the company in terms of tax. So we need to calculate after tax cost of debt, and the amount by which the company is saved by the tax, it is called as a tax shield. So here you can see 0.08 multiplied by 1 minus 0.3. So this will give us after tax shield, the cost of debt after tax shield. So here it comes 0.056. Similarly, the preferred stock, it is very simple. It is given over here. It is 10%. So 10% means 0.10. And cost of equity is 12%, which is 0.12. In order to calculate weighted average cost of capital, I have simply multiplied the weightages and the cost. So when we multiply the weightages with the cost, so it will give us weighted average cost of capital. So here you can see I have multiplied these two values. And then after multiplying the weightages, the weightage of preferred stock with that of its cost or required rate of return, so it will give us 0.017. Similarly, I have done the same treatment for this cost common stock. It includes the weightage of common stock and its cost or required rate of return as per given in the question. So after getting values in the weighted average cost of capital, we just need to add all of them, and after adding we will get 0.095. And finally, this decimal value, we need to convert it into a percentage. We need to multiply it by 100, so this will give us 9.5%. The interpretation of this number is that the company needs to earn at least 9.5% in order to satisfy the requirements of debt providers, in order to satisfy the dividend requirements of preferred stock and a common stock. So I hope the calculation part all of you would have understood. Viewers, you can change the debt, preferred stock and equity composition, and again you can revise this example, and in that case you will get a different answer, because once you change the debt or preferred stock or equity composition, so it will lead to change in the weightages, and hence it will affect the overall weighted average cost of capital. So that's all. I hope you would have understood this example. Thank you for watching. New viewers are requested to like and share this video and subscribe to Financial Specialist channel by clicking on subscribe button at the right bottom of this video and hitting the bell icon to get the intimation of upcoming useful videos. Share your thoughts, suggestions in the comment section. Stay blessed. Thank you very much.